Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So, surprise, surprise, a bunch of preview images for Batman v Superman just dropped. So this is going to be a breakdown of that, along with a list of Batman's greatest loves, because it kind of looks like something might be going on between him and Wonder Woman, but I don't think the movie's going to go there. If there's anything going on between Batman and Wonder Woman in the movie, I would say that they're just going to have sexual chemistry. I'm not expecting it to do that cliche thing where it's like the two dudes fight over the one woman. But to add some context as to why Wonder Woman would know Batman but not know Superman, we've learned from the Wonder Woman movie, like with the way they've been planning that it's going to take place in the 1920s, so she's been on Earth for a long time. So she would have just had more time to get to know everyone. She's going to be something of a diplomat in the movie. The government itself plays a big role, so it gives you an idea for why Wonder Woman is necessary, if she's such a great politician. Batman, of course, is ubiquitous in the DC universe. He's the world's greatest detective, meaning that he goes all over the world, so of course they'll probably have run into each other at some point. As for what their history is, we don't know yet, but Batman looks so grumpy and old, it looks like things didn't end well. Just looking at the tone of Zack Snyder's films in general, and what's going on with these characters that we've seen in the trailer so far, it gives me this very Watchmen-type vibe, like some of the themes from Watchmen with more mainstream DC characters. I think the departure for this film, though, is the addition of Superman, in that he represents hope. He's not like Dr. Manhattan, where he's become so powerful, he just loses all connection with humanity. If you are a big fan of the Watchmen comics, though, that's essentially what Dr. Manhattan is meant to represent. It's like Alan Moore's dark version of what would really happen if we had a Superman on our planet. He would just become so godlike that he would stop caring about humans. The difference is that Superman says that his family symbol, like the core operating belief of his house, is hope. And he didn't start out a human like Dr. Manhattan did, so there was no humanity to lose to begin with. If you've been reading the comics recently, though, Superman's going through some huge changes. They depowered him big time, and they broke him and Wonder Woman up. They've been going out for a long time in the comics during the New 52, which I am 100% on board with, even if some of the new Superman stories don't work out. I like them trying new things with these characters. Speaking of which, Lex Luthor's hair. Look at this haircut. He looks like he's in a grunge band. The movie is spinning his character as a tech billionaire, just because in today's world, tech is such a booming industry. That's where most young billionaires rise from. Regardless of what your opinion of Jesse Eisenberg is, I think he tried to bring a more complicated version of the character to the screen. Typically the more comical versions, like Kevin Spacey, a little more comical, all the way back to Gene Hackman, those are great characters, they had great performances, but those versions of Lex Luthor were just a little more over the top. Zack Snyder, a little more down and dirty, so we're not going to see characters like that in the movie. He doesn't do slapstick comedy. There are a lot of rumors about what Lex Luthor is going to be doing in the film, but he is a Superman villain, so even if he's morally gray for most of the film, he will probably walk away being one of the villains. You will probably walk out of the theater saying, yeah, he was one of the bad guys, if not the most obvious bad guy. In a film like this, where they're trying to weave in a lot of metaphors about the role of superheroes in modern society, there's going to be like the monster villain, like the one that they punch the shit out of, and then there's going to be the more ambiguous villains, which is probably the category that Lex Luthor's going to fall into. A better term to use would be antagonist, because you have Batman v Superman, which makes it sound like a court case. I know that makes it sound like a 2-hour episode of Law & Order, but I'm sure there's some of you that actually really do like Law & Order, even though I can't stand it. Given what we know about Batman, the level of distrust that he has for everyone, you can see how he might view Superman given the battle he just had with all the Kryptonians. Half of the world's gonna love Superman, they'll worship him like a god, that's why these symbols are on these soldiers' arms. The other half will want to burn him at the stake, and so you can see how people like Lex Luthor would try to swing people one way or another, try to influence Congress with lobbyists, try to influence people like Batman by making them more paranoid. Wonder Woman, the diplomat, is probably going to be the common ground. She'll probably be the one to slap both of them to their senses and say, stop fighting, there's a bigger threat. And when I say bigger threat, I'm talking about like the monster villain, the one that they have to punch the shit out of. There really isn't enough information to speculate on that, so I don't want to go too deep into who the actual villain might be. There's rumors that there might be a Doomsday type character, but feel free to speculate in the comments. But here's my big question for you guys. It's actually kind of a funny one. Given this picture, do you think that anything has been going on or will be going on between Wonder Woman and Batman in this movie? I know I promised to do a breakdown of all of Batman's biggest relationships, but DC Comics, very big universe, so he has gone out with a lot of women. He is a man whore in the best possible way, but here are some of the biggest characters that he's had relationships with. The biggest ones, obviously, Selina Kyle, Talia al Ghul, who he has a child with, Vicky Vale, Pamela Isley, Wonder Woman, Black Canary, Zatanna, Vesper Fairchild, and even Lois Lane, but that was only in the new Batman Adventures whenever it crossed over with Superman the Animated Series. Superman, yeah, he got really pissed about that. It didn't last or anything. Lois broke up with Bruce when she found out he was Batman. One of the greatest changes I think that they've made to Lois Lane in the movie so far is that she's smart enough to figure out who Superman is right away. It's not like he walks around all day at the Daily Planet for years and years before she figures it out. I feel like that'd be a huge disservice to any character. Like if you're able to fool them by putting a pair of eyeglasses on. Like how could you call yourself a Pulitzer-winning journalist if you were fooled by something so simple? So if that's any indication, the way they treat Lois Lane in this universe, do not worry. There's not going to be like a crazy amount of shipping or anything in the movie. It's really intended to set the stage for Justice League, like explain logically why all these big superheroes need to come together. There has to be a need before the team is formed. So in case you didn't see, I started a giveaway in my Flash Killer Frost video. I'm doing like a Marvel and a DC giveaway every week. So it usually just starts with like the first Marvel and the first DC video I post. So congratulations to this week's giveaway winner, Tyler Gonzalez. You win a $20 Amazon gift card. Be sure to private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact info. I'll announce the Marvel winner whenever I post my Spider-Man villains video tomorrow. I was actually going to post that now, but this Batman vs. Superman stuff happened, so I wanted to get it out fast. If you're not sure about that, just watch the Captain America video that I just posted. I explained it in that video. Just to remind you guys about Comic-Con, Batman vs. Superman is doing all their stuff on Saturday. Not this Saturday, but like the week after that. I'll be recording the panel, any footage that they allow. I mean, you know, if they show something in Hall H, I can't record it, but if they post it online, then it's totally fine. I'll be doing separate Comic-Con preview videos that'll explain like what the schedule is going to be, like what videos I'm going to be making, all that kind of stuff. So just look out for that starting tomorrow. Just since it's been a little while, in case you guys haven't watched it recently, you can click here to watch the Batman vs. Superman trailer again, and you can click here for my Killer Frost video that I just did. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tomorrow.